Has the Government of Canada done a sufficient job in promoting national identity? Yes, I believe Canada has done a sufficient job in promoting national identity because we get taught in schools for every year how promoting a national identity is an important thing of being a Canadian citizen and what it means to be a Canadian citizen and what our national identity is. And it's not something that should be overly talked about. I don't think that, like, we sing "O Canada" every day, and yeah. What lessons has history taught us about the nature of nationalism? Through history, we've learned a lot about nationalism. I think that history shows that nationalism can be a really good thing, but if it's taken too far, it can be a bad thing. For example, the Holocaust. Nationalism is good. It's good to know what you like and what your country is and how to feel pride for your country. But if you take it too extreme to the point that you're putting down other countries and being racist towards them, it can end up with really bad things. I feel like through the French Renaissance, we showed that finding your nationalism is good, but if you take it too far, it can be pretty bad. To what extent should nationalism be sacrificed in the interest of internationalism? In the case of internationalism, I think that nationalism should only be sacrificed if it's mutually beneficial for everybody. For example, with the United Nations, it works because it helps everyone and it's for a good cause and a good reason. In order for a country to thrive, it has to be helping itself. It's good to do other things for other countries, but I also believe that a country has to put itself first and make sure that it's doing things that aren't gonna harm its economy or its safety for its people. How are contending nationalist and non-nationalist loyalties a challenge to the nation of Canada moving into the future? Contending loyalties can always pose a problem because you always have to pick between two things. With nationalism, it's picking your country before another thing, which can be hard, especially if you're a refugee or you just came into this country and you have to readjust how you live. In the future, this can pose a problem for Canadians because we're changing so much and we're getting in so many different people and everybody's a different religion and we have so much diversity that it's going to be hard with what loyalties fit who and what becomes Canada's rules and how everyday life is for certain people. Find 2 quotes or political cartoons you think it reflects your attitude toward nationalism. Explain how each quote or cartoon gives insight to your perspective. My first quote is of Justin Trudeau when he was asked on why he chose a gender-balanced cabinet, and he says, because it's 2015. I think this reflects my attitude towards nationalism because he's making a nation that's more gender diverse and more equal. Justin Trudeau is pointing us to a new Canada that is more up to date, and we're getting rid of our old conservative views, and I just like how he's trying to make us a new place and how he's trying to make us better. He's also trying to shape what our nationalist views are and make it so it's more diverse and more accepting of others. And that's nice. I chose the second political cartoon because to me it represents what nationalism can be like if you're following blindly, and it can turn into ultranationalism very fast. I believe that the second man is what ultranationalism would look like. It can sabotage what a good thing should be. The first one seems like the good and the second one seems like the bad. It also represents that ultra-nationalist state like Soviet Russia and Hitler, Nazi Germany, and all of those cases that we studied in class. I think this reflects my attitude towards nationalism because although I think nationalism is a good thing, I think that too much could be turned into a bad thing, and I can't stress enough that there's been so many cases of nationalism turning bad. And that can be a worrisome thing because if you don't know what your nationalism is and you're not taught in school what it really means to have nationalist ideals and what it can turn into, then you could just be blindly following this idea that you don't actually know anything about, and that can turn out to be a pretty harmful thing. Thanks for watching!